Hey, welcome back to this week's edition of Avid Golfer Magazine's DraftKings Fearless Fantasy Forecast. Now, last week, only 6% took Stewart Cink. He went wire to wire. Nobody thought that was going to happen. We didn't have him, but we had about everybody else.
We owned the top 10. We owned it.
But we needed the win.
We didn't have him. We won some money, though,
We
so
did.
that was good. And I will tell you this week, Rick.
I was trying to hold it in.
This week, Rick, my most confident stone cold lock.
Interesting.
My most confident stone cold lock.
All right, it's the Zurich Classic. It's a team format, pairings. So they get to team up with their buddies or whatever. They get some interesting pairings this week, but no strength of field points because of that. But the PGA Tour does give them all the exemptions for winning like on a regular tour event. Can't get into the Masters, though. So, I love this stuff.
I have three on the same team. Three teams that are on the same, both teams.
But get this, before we start, this is interesting because you're going to have 2 rounds best ball, 2 rounds alternate shot.
That's correct.
And they're going to alternate. So, interesting stuff. Best to go for guys who make a lot of birdies.
Greens and regulation.
Or that too.
Right.
I'll take birdies.
All right, I'll start. I've got 3 teams on both teams. I've got Peter Joheim and Richie Wierenski. I took Joheim. He won on the Korn Ferry Tour last week.
He did.
And I like winners. Not a very strong field. He's coming off a win. Wierenski can putt. I went with him. I went with Josh Teeter and Sepp Straka. I didn't realize this, but you know Josh Teeter hasn't missed a cut since early November.
How many is that?
A lot.
I like your attention to detail.
Straka has made 4 straight cuts.
All right.
So I got them. And then the last one. This is my stone cold lock. I'm so confident with this team. I'd be surprised if you didn't have them at least on one team, if not on 2. Cam Smith and Mark Leishman. By the way, might be a preview of what a President's Cup team might look like.
Sure.
But
Aussie teammates.
Smith, he won the inaugural event here with, you remember who he played with? He carried Jonas Blixt.
Oh, that's right. Jonas Blixt, I think, is out of golf.
I know.
I haven't seen him.
He his last 5 events, he's only got 1 that's not in the top 10. And Leishman's coming off a 5th in the Masters.
Yep.
How is this not team just ready to do this? 2 Aussies playing together. Man, load them up.
Okay. I did not take any of the high-priced teams except for Cameron Smith and Mark Leishman. But I didn't put them on both teams. It was a tough way to bet this week because a lot of high-priced pairings. And then you had a lot of low. It was all over the map.
You couldn't put. I did on one team put 2 high-priced teams together, but then you had to go for real value.
Yeah, so, it's going to be a crapshoot this week, I promise you. So I only took 2 teams, 2 pairings on both teams. I took Jason Kokrak and Pat Perez. Kokrak is playing amazingly well, and Perez is a flag shooter. You need somebody like that.
Both of them are really fiery.
Yeah, and they like
I
playing,
like them.
And they like playing with each other.
Yeah.
They're a good pairing. The other one I took was, and again, this is low bar here, but high birdie potential. Scott Piercy, Akshay Bhatia. Now, Piercy won it in 2018.
He did.
And Bhatia is just he's either a birdie or nothing, which I like that. So he's got somebody, backing him up a little bit. So those are the only 2 pairings I took on both teams. I'll start with one team. I took Cameron Smith, Mark Leishman. Smith is 9th in strokes gained overall. Leishman is 20th.
Okay.
That's pretty strong. Took Doug Gim, John Suh. 5th most birdies, that's Doug Gim. Suh's made 5 out of 6 cuts.
Okay.
Took Cameron Tringali, Roberto Castro. Tringali 27th in birdies, finished 9th and 13th the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Michael Nesmith, Chase Seifert.
Do you even know who Chase Seifert is?
Yeah, he's been up on the leaderboard before.
Okay.
Yeah. Nesmith, 3rd strokes gained approach.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, from one team, I've got Jason Kokrak and Pat Perez. I just like the fieriness of those. I snuck in Dylan Fratelli and Kevin Streelman. Now, Fratelli's not playing awesome, but Streelman is.
Yeah.
And he's playing so well. He came off a really good Masters. I had to have him on a team, and if it was a regular event, I would have definitely picked him in some way.
Sure.
And then I took Keith Mitchell and Brandt Snedeker. Mitchell's made his last 2 cuts. Snedeker's made his last 2 with a 6 at Valero, and I'm thinking he's got a little red ass that he's missed his didn't play in the Masters this year for the first time in a long time.
How about that?
So I figured he's probably ready to win something.
Well, they are ready to win, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's not unique.
I snuck him on.
Okay.
They were cheap. So that was one. Now my last one. I took Chesson Hadley and Ben Martin. Ben Martin's playing well, until his last one. But Chesson Hadley's got to be one of the most talkative, likable guys on tour. I figure he's gonna calm down anybody. Yes.
All right.
I took Doc Redman and Sam Ryder. I looked for two guys who grew up together.
Okay.
And I couldn't find any except these two guys. So they grew up together in Florida, and I like those on the team. And I took Tony Finau and Cameron Champ on this one reason. Isn't this the event that Tony Finau's going to win? Of all the time he's coming in second and everything else,
Maybe.
this is the one where, well, yeah, he won a team event, right? He still hasn't won a real event by himself. This is just kind of.
They might drive a couple par fours, but here's the problem.
This will frame his career.
Here's the problem with Champ, though. He's like only 125th in FedEx Cup points.
Oh, I know.
It's surprising.
But it is very, very surprising. But I just figured this just has him Finau winning written all over it.
Well, it just shows you we did not take the past champions or most recent champions, John Rahm or Ryan Palmer, even though I really like that team. But, man, it's so pricey at the top, very top-heavy. I took Max Homa, Taylor Gooch. Homa's 35th in birdies. Gooch is 8th. How about that? Sungjae M, Byung-Un An. Sungjae is back, and he's on track. He's made 18 of 20 cuts. Kevin Kistner, Scott Brown. So
I like this team.
I almost took them on both teams. They've been together each year. They have finished in order 2nd, 15th, and 5th. 15th, they were 54-hole leader.
Fell apart.
Yeah, they fell apart. And then I finally took Tom Hoagie, Bo Hostler. Hoagie's playing great, and he is always undervalued. Maybe Hostler. Hostler's got game, but
yeah, I looked at them too. Hoagie's playing well. It's actually Hogue, but
okay,
whatever. Win a major, you can be called right?
Yes, exactly that. And Hostler goes after birdies. So again, that's what I want. Again, this is one of those weeks that you just throw them up in the air and whatever lands you take, and you'll probably play better than normal.
Okay, two teams I'll ask you about. One was Cantley and Schauffele. Has to be the chalk.
Is it? Cantley hasn't played worth a darn.
But Schauffele is.
Okay. Yeah. But they were high priced. They were the highest priced.
And then
team.
the other one that I'm sure you looked at because you didn't know what to do about it would be Scotty Scheffler and Bubba Watson.
I did.
Doesn't seem like they fit together, but maybe that's what this needs.
I did.
Yeah, they kind of scare me. I don't know what to think of them.
I don't either. But it's as good as anything. But I try to stay away from the 5-figure teams, except for Smith and Leishman and all that. So anyway, so there you go.
I will be absolutely shocked if Smith and Leishman are not in the top 3.
I would agree with that.
I just can't see them not being in the top 3 at this point.
But if you look at the past leaderboards, there's some major surprises in this field every year. So I kind of
that alternate shot thing will derail anybody.
I kind of went the Yahtzee routine. I just threw it out the dice, and whatever came up, came up. There you go. Okay, so there's your Fearless Fantasy forecast for Avid Golfer and DraftKings. Watch it, bet accordingly, and we'll all cash in some moolah maybe next week.
Smith and Leishman. Good day, mate.